Okay, so this one's a little bit different. It is a full-on demo that you'll do in front of the classroom. The option, though, is that you take the demo and you turn it into an activity for the students to do at home on their own and recording the information that they get as a lab or a take-home activity type thing. It involves potatoes and a frying pan, and that's pretty much it. I mean, you can make it tasty if you want to and add some seasoning, salt, and oil, but that may mess up your results, etc. When I do this, what I do is I get my griddle, which is like an opening panini press, and I take a whole potato, a russet potato or a Yukon Gold or whatever you want, and I put the potato directly on the already on at like 300 degrees Fahrenheit grill, and I stand there and I stare at it. And I just stare at it and stare at it until a student goes like, "What are you doing?" And I say, "I'm cooking a potato." And then I stare at it. And eventually somebody will say something like, "That doesn't work," or "That won't work." And then you say, "Why?" And then you slowly draw out from them the things that you're looking for. So the things I'm looking for them to say is like, "Cut the potato." And I take out the potato off the grill and I'm like, "It's warm, it will cook, put it back down." And they're like, "No, cut it." So I pick it up and I grab my biggest kitchen knife. It's a ridiculous chef's knife, but it works for effect. And I cut the potato in half on my bench and I put it back down. It's cut. Ta-da, what do you want? So they start to go through this process of like, somebody will say, "Well, no, it has to be smaller. It has to be cut into like dices." And I have already pre-cut, hidden away from view, home fries. So like 1 centimeter cubed. I'll dump those onto the grill. Usually I season them for fun at that point just so that they're delicious because we do end up eating it. It's in my classroom. I can totally do this. And then somebody says, "Well, no, they can be even smaller." And so I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Well, like hash browns, they're grated." And then I pull out from the drawer grated potatoes. And so then we start to talk about the key words here being surface area. So this is all related to ways to increase chemical reactions, the rate of chemical reactions. So one is to increase surface area. The bomb lab that we do on another video here is to talk about concentration of the reaction or reactants. Another way obviously is to heat up or add heat to the reaction. So that's where I ask the kids after they've come up with this surface area part, I say, "Well, how else could I speed up the rate of this reaction?" They say, "Well, you can turn up the heat." So I like turn up the heat on my grill. So I have this as a multi-step kind of process, and it's a good and fun kind of demo, and then we get to eat after, which everybody enjoys. So it depends on how many potatoes you want to cook that day, but it is totally possible, and always feel free to have a student come up and help you with part of the demo. After that, I have another demo set up off to the side where I have just elephant toothpaste. So I'm sure you have seen or have done an elephant toothpaste demo. So that is just a demo to talk about the other way to increase the rate of reaction besides the concentration and surface area and heat. We can also add a catalyst, and that is just a demonstration of a catalyst. Now, there's one lab, and I have a note at the very bottom of this page that says, like, I don't have traditional labs necessarily set up in here for videos as explained, because labs are experiences in themselves, but in our rate of reactions lab, or 5 types of chemical reactions lab, we actually have another reaction with a catalyst. So I show them another kind of catalyst with the peroxide, and it's just sitting there and looks like hydrogen peroxide, and it doesn't do anything, and it'll sit there and it'll still not do anything for the next day. But when you take hydrogen peroxide, you add in dish soap, no reaction, right? The reaction's happening, but it's very, very slow, until you add in potassium iodide, and then everything goes off. So that's just another demo. And then with those two in front of the class, they actually have all of the rest of the pieces that they haven't seen, or they can really add in another layer of their understanding to rates of reactions. So you need like a grill, potatoes, or something to cook. I suppose you could do anything. you need to have stuff for elephant toothpaste, but really it's quite simple. And so it's something that you can do at home or not, or at school, but the kids can get the experience of doing it.